Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Been working on some videos for you guys, trying to get some stuff back on the channel so that we have some more stuff going on and try to get through some of these builds this year, even with everything that's going on with me. So this is the Ferrari F50 that I've been working on, and right now are at, like, I guess it would be like the first stage of sub-assemblies. So I wanted to go through that and show you guys kind of what I got done. And while I'm over here at the paint booth, that's the next step for this car, because I've assembled everything that is going to be either the same color or it's at a point where I can paint it all the different colors that it requires. Because this is pretty much going to be box stock, so everything's going to be pretty much the way the instructions say to build it, except that it's going to be convertible. Excuse me, just had lunch. I'll go through all the stuff I assembled, and that'll be the video for the Ferrari for the first video after the unboxing. So right now, nothing's been done to the glass. I've left it alone. I probably won't mess with it till I'm losing a piece of glass right there. Probably won't mess with the glass till the last part, like when it tells me I have to install it. Then I'll see what it needs. Because there's so many little intricate things that need certain colors of paint. But we'll start with this. I labeled left and right because what had happened is I was assembling the engine, which in the Ferrari F50 goes in the rear, and the transaxles go through the part of the transmission at the back of the engine here, but I had assembled too much of it, and then when I went to test the exhaust out, how they would fit, I weren't able to put the exhaust in there, and so then I had to take a few pieces off, and so I ended up getting them to pop off without much problem, because the glue I use now for assembly is I think it's just Mr. Hobby, but it's a very thin set cement, and it works really good. It assembles, it stays, but if you put enough tension on it, you can get the parts to pop off pretty much without a problem. As you see, I got the left exhaust done with the exhaust tips on it. I got the brake rotor. It has a couple pieces that go in it on the inside, and then this piece right here, I think that's a whole solid piece. That's part of the transaxle there. But that's the left side of that, and the right side is exactly the same. This came out as a whole unit. That was the weak link that was glued in place, was the axle shaft, and so either that was it, or it was where I glued it at the top and bottom of these. I don't think I glued it dead in the center. I don't see any glue spots. Maybe I did though. Anyway, so the right and left side are the same. They're just, made for the right and left side. But I got this assembled. It wasn't too difficult. It's just a couple of pieces you put together, and then I put the valve covers on it, and then I had all this assembled, but like I said, I couldn't test fit the exhaust, so I had to pop a few pieces out of there. There's a little piece that goes like right here for the suspension. It's got a really neat suspension. I love it. It looks like a spider, some kind of bug. I've never built a car like this, like a high-end sports car or like a supercar, and so a lot of the parts are way different than all the old classic cars I've built. I left the steering loose so you'd be able to turn the wheels, so you could pose it for more realistic pictures. Got the coilover suspension mounted, got the cooling fans mounted on here. I put the interior tub, and then installed the parking brake, and I stopped there because I want to flock the interior, and it's kind of like at that spot to where I have to flock it before I can install stuff, because the next thing is to paint things, the little dials, and to install, like, I think there's a chrome shifter and so I gotta flock the interior next. All this right here gets painted aluminum to match the aluminum exhaust and all that kind of stuff. The rest of it is a flat black or like a semi-gloss black. But so that's waiting on flocking. I want to see if I can flock the whole interior, but there is decals for the whole interior of the car. For the insert of the door, for the outside of the door, there's inserts for the whole. There's decals for the whole thing. So I'm still trying to figure out if I want to do the decals or if I want to flock the interior to give it kind of like a cloth leather look, but we'll see. It just depends on how it looks when I kind of do a dry run on the decals. But there's pieces here that need individual painting on the doors. This is the top part of the engine with the air boxes, and it gets specific painting on it. And then there's the steering piece. It's got the wiper and, you know, turn signal controls on it, the wiper blade, the sun visor pieces. All those pieces have to be painted a specific color, so I just decided to wait. This is the I'm pretty sure that's the shifter, but and it's not chrome, but I remember what it was. There is a metal. What is it called? There's a piece of metal that goes over where the shifter goes, because it's like not a Z-gate, but it's a slotted shifter pattern. So that's why it has to be flocked before I can do more interior. All the body panels, I'm gonna go across those with a very fine sandpaper, just so that my paint, which is yellow, can stick to it really good. I know there's no imperfections in this body, so I'll just do a very, very high grit wet sand on all the body pieces and just straight up spray it. I'm not gonna even prime it. I'm gonna just go straight to spraying it with paint after I do a very, very high grit wet sand. I still don't know what this piece goes to. It's a number 1. Maybe it's like an oil cap or something like that. But it hasn't come up in the instructions, so I haven't touched it. These should be the Coilover suspension for the rear. That's painted all separate colors, and it would have been really close down to the framework here, so you wouldn't have been able to paint under it, so I left it separate. This right here is the firewall, and this is part of, this is where the engine will line up against, kind of like this right here. Those pieces line up there, and so it mounts like that, but this is a different color than the engine, and these are coil packs. There's 6 on each side. It's 2 coil packs, but 6 points on each side, and got to do the wiring on it also, so I want to make sure I get that done on it. The bucket seats, they get individual coloring, so left it separate. This is the front ground effects for the car and the front bumper, and so left it separate because it's getting a body color paint, but it'll be easier to paint it just holding it with like a clip or something, and light sand it and then paint it. I'm still gonna, even though I'm making it convertible, I still prep this roof, so hopefully if it's possible I'll be able to interchange it for pictures, but I am going to make it convertible. This is the convertible piece. It's got to get the these pieces right here get mounted on it, and so since it's going to be painted, I decided just to wait on that. I can't remember if those are black or aluminum or chrome, so I'm pretty sure they have to be painted separately. If I can get away with not painting these, then I'm not going to paint them. It'll get a clear coat over it. I think that's all I'll do to most of the flat black stuff if that's all it needs. The external mirrors, the rear view mirror goes on the inside. Only thing for the dash that you could do before flocking the dash or any kind of anything else you need to do to it is just this top piece right here that gets installed on there, and that's all that could be done to that. Another body panel piece goes at the back where the engine is at, where the clear cover will be at. And then here's all the rest of the pieces: steering wheel, here's a bracket, gas pedals, looks like a piece of exhaust that goes under. These, I would say, are some kind of intake piece, but I can't remember. And these here, there's two different things here. These go, very interestingly, they go right behind these air ducts where the air goes into the Ferrari. And one is the AC condenser, and the other one is, I don't remember. I can't remember what it was. Well, one was for the air conditioning, and the other one was something else. But they required two little fan pieces. Well, that's the fan piece. Let's see. They required these two little grill mesh pieces that needed to get inserted into those to make it look like a solid piece. So I installed those, but it hasn't been painted. And then the wheels were pretty much just popping them in there. Really wasn't a whole lot of work to those. I think they get a little decal on them on the center cap for Ferrari. Pretty sure they do. But the main thing for these is just make sure you get the tread pattern installed correctly for the tires. Besides that, that was the car. I mean, it probably took me a couple of days to get it done, but just had a lot of things going on and wasn't able to get the video uploaded for you guys. So I wanted to just run through and show you guys the work that I've done, and then we'll move on to the next stage on this. So this is video A of the sub-assemblies, and so video B will be getting everything painted all separately, and then C will be probably half of it installed in different places, like the completed engine, because this will actually be mounted. There's a piece that it goes with that it all completely, like once you get the firewall and everything, it literally like swings in and pivots in just like that. That's how the whole engine assembly installs. So that's what it'll be in the next video after we get it all painted. It'll be putting everything in, and we'll video a couple of pieces of that installation. But maybe I'll show you guys how I do the flocking. I've never done it, so it should be pretty interesting. I'm gonna do a test piece and see how it works, since I've never done it, and then we will do it on the Ferrari live, not a live feed, but live recording, so that you guys can see me trying to flock for the first time after I do my test flocking. Anyway, so that's it. That's all that I've got done on the Ferrari. The next thing to get done is to get all this either wet sanded and get it all painted, and then we'll assemble it, and we'll move on to step B of getting the Ferrari taken care of. But that's the end of the video, guys. I'm working on getting a lot more stuff done for you guys, and so we will see you in the next one.